Hey guys, Dylan here, back in with day 29 of the 31 days of Halloween, and as promised, today we're taking a look at the Dark Alliance Series 2. I forgot to say in the last video it's Diamond Select / Art Asylum, but you get that from the title, or the title of the video. You know what, I'm still tired. I'm filming all these on the same day, cut me some slack. But today we're taking a look at the Cremator, Lady Death's right-hand man. And if you know anything about my Lady Death figure, if you watched the last video, you know she kind of ate shit when I tried to get her out. So we'll just get that out of the way. There she is. She's in scale with him. I mean, she's broke as hell right now, but I did replace her. If I get her in time, she will be the first review of next month. Probably will be regardless, but, depends on when I get her, So, Cremator, he comes with quite a few accessories. Probably comes with the most viable, I would say, out of all the accessories, because you can use them in other lines. But the first thing he comes with, that's not on his person right now, is this awesome skull mace. Look at that. It's a friggin' morning star if I ever saw one. Real metal chain, big ass handle. Really, really cool. Actually, a decent amount of chain on that thing, too. This would look great with the Mythic Legions, one of the new ogres coming out. So that might very well be where that's going. And then he has a shield. Unfortunately, the strap on mine, it just came unglued. It's not broken, but I have it still. It's just a leather strap. It's not real, but it just kind of pegs in here, and then you're supposed to tab it in to the little peg on the back, which can be easier said than done, especially when you're trying to fish it in and out of his hands. I did not know this was a glued piece. I thought this was all one solid piece. Would have made a little bit more sense, but I guess I'd rather it came unglued than it straight up breaking. So I think the move with this is to decide whether or not you're going to display him with it, give it to him, and leave it there. Just because it's so much of a pain in the butt to get on his arm. You actually have to put it into his hand. This thick strap does not fit in his hand very well. And it's too small to go around his wrist, which is kind of stupid, because isn't that where shields are supposed to go? I mean, really? I don't know. And it's too big for Mythic Legions, so I can't really use that with anything at the moment. But looking at his other weapons here, he comes with this big gnarly axe, which can be a challenge to pop out of his hand. All that squeaking, don't worry about that. That's just loose friction. But there it is. There's the axe. It's just a big old stone, silver, whatever axe. And that's cool. And then the spear, that's the easiest that's ever come out. That's what she said. The tip of it is rubber, plastic, whatever. And the handle, I'm 99% sure that's wood. That or it's just really crusty paint. If I hit it off the floor, you probably can't really tell, but it doesn't sound like plastic. So looking at the Cremator, you're going to want to be careful with this figure, like most of these. And there's the white balance being a dick again. Joy. You're going to want to be careful with him just because he's a little bit fragile in the arm hinges. I'll repeat that again. The arm hinges are a little bit fragile. You don't want to mess those up. But his head will rotate. He's got this little lock here. And, he's kind of like a medieval Freddy Krueger when you think about it. And he's got the burnt face. Or he used to. Maybe it's not burnt. Maybe I just think it is. He has the hinge in the shoulders. You can move him out, probably a right angle, but you're going to want to heat that thing up or something to get that to move. but they swivel. He's got a hinge in the elbow. His elbow pads actually hinge as well. So they're probably on the same hinge unit as the elbow hinge itself. He's got a swivel at the wrist. And unfortunately, he is kind of pre-posed, which kind of sucks, because I would have preferred his torso been cocked straight up, and then you could literally have both of his arms at his side. That would look awesome. But they didn't do that for some reason. They decided everyone wanted a pre-posed freaking statue-esque thing, and then they gave it a bunch of articulation that is hindered. Smarts! Brains! Not really. His waist will rotate, and his hips, now his hips you can kind of work with here. Get those out to the side. Almost more than freaking Spider-Man again, even though look at how big those freaking things are. And of course they rotate forward and back. He has a single jointed knee, and his knee pad hinges up and down. Just like the elbow pad. And then he's got a hinge in the foot. So I'm going to bring this guy behind camera so I can do this. On the count of 3. 1, 2, 3. There. Popped it back into place. It is a pain in the butt to move this guy around, but once you can get him posed, he looks pretty cool on the shelf. It's one of those lines, you don't want to pose him around too much. I'm surprised he's not loose like the Lucifer is. I mean, Lucifer's not like loose to where he can't stand on his own 2 feet, but this guy, he's like super tight to where you do not want to move him. And what sucks is his one arm, as stuck as it is, you can't hinge it in really at all. Even though there might be some space to do it. Either something's hitting or it's just stuck. You can hear that. So yeah, I wouldn't advise moving his other arm really all that much, just because it's not the sturdiest frickin' setup. I have no idea if it can move in anymore. That's pretty much as far as I can get it to go. So he's got one arm kind of hanging out. I'm putting enough force on that, so yeah, let's not break this dude. It doesn't really move in any more than that. I mean, you can move it out a little bit, but it doesn't really move in more than this for whatever reason. It might be some sculpt here or something. I don't know. This arm you can move out a little bit, push it back down. This arm, I don't know. I could try the heat test if I was really curious, but I don't think it's hinged as much as this side, because even though there's a gap here, I think his bicep is just going to hit on stuff. I'm not really sure, but yeah, it's not really worth moving it. Just ain't. He does have some more accessories, though. All these arrows I had to stick in his back. Yeah, that wasn't fun. If you thought it was, you are wrong. They're a pain in the butt to get in there. But he has like several. They don't give you instructions on where to put them. And some of them fall out. But those are optional, I guess. If you didn't want to put those in there, you didn't have to. I stuck them in there because what the heck else am I going to do with them? I guess they're good for Mythic Legions customs, but I don't do that. I'm not a good customizer. I've tried it. It just ain't happening. So I guess we'll give him his spear just so he doesn't have this giant arm just hanging out to the side. There you go. I mean, that's the intent for that arm anyways, but I'd like to maybe get it down all the way if it goes down more than that. I'm kind of thinking it can't just because of how the hinge is. Because a lot of Toy Biz figures are built like that too. Where you'd think they could go down more and they can't. And there he is next to Jack-o'-lantern. It's obviously bigger. Obviously. But yeah, with that being said, that's pretty much it for the Cremator. He's a cool figure, but again, you're going to want to maybe heat some stuff. If that trick even works on these, I don't know. And you're probably going to want to give him what you want to give him and stick him on the shelf. Luckily, the accessories I give him aren't too tight. So, you can just have them sitting there. Looking all cool and stuff. So, that being said, hope you enjoyed today's edition of the 31 Days of Halloween. Stay tuned, because tomorrow we're going to be keeping with the Diamond Select theme, but switching over to Marvel. Again, with Marvel. Ugh. Tomorrow we're looking at the Marvel Select Ghost Rider. So with that being said, hope you guys enjoyed day 29 of the 31 Days of Halloween. Ooh, scary. Oh, am I kidding? I'm still tired. Still.